Good evening and welcome to ABC 31 News Tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. Tonight's big story, 2 recent jury trials in Vernon Parish result in convictions. 44-year-old Daniel Jeremy Eckert of Anacoco now faces life in prison for killing his wife Clarissa Nell Eckert in February of last year. And a May 9th sentencing date is slated for Michael Lee Walls of Midway, Georgia for improper behavior with a juvenile. That happened a year ago. He was convicted of molestation and indecent behavior. 2 Pineville residents are arrested for cruelty to children ages 3, 4, and 5. They are 26-year-old Joshua Lee Cherrier and 57-year-old Wanda Gale Cherrier. Rapides deputies say the 3 children were found in the middle of the roadway near Esler Field and Rifle Range roads. The children reportedly tested positive for narcotics, as did the suspects. Family Services is also working on this case as the children were removed from the home. Natchitoches police need your help in finding Randy Bradley Jr. He's wanted for illegal carry, resisting an officer, and aggravated assault. Police say an NPD officer made contact with him last week on South Drive. Bradley reportedly pulled a handgun, though the officer was able to knock it from his hand. Police say Bradley then ran off. The Pineville Sears hometown store wants to let customers know recent closures of corporate-owned stores will not affect their business. The Sears hometown store is locally owned, and the owners say they will continue to sell the products that locals know and love. The Central Louisiana Regional Chamber of Commerce is excited about the launch of their new and improved website. This website provides a new look and is more functional while offering chamber members a number of new resources. You can find information for starting or growing a business under the Tools for Business Success area and a new profitability feature for chamber members only. The new site is at senlachamber.org. Meteorologist Ross Whitley is here with your weather now.
Hey Scott, looking at the almanac for today, a little bit above average out there, definitely noticing the humidity. Fortunately, today have not had the shower or thunderstorm activity that we've had the last couple of days. I did get to 83 degrees today officially, and normal for this time of year at 79 degrees. And nowhere near the record set back in 1987 of 94, and another long-standing low there at 38 degrees back in 1901. Last year, this time of year, right around 80 degrees. So not that far off from where we were today. Overnight tonight, we're going to clear things out. Clouds should start to diminish as we get late into the evening. Be mainly clear with a low around 66. Dew points are still going to be rather high though, so we're still going to be feeling the humidity out there, even though the air will be a little bit cooler than where it has been the last couple of nights. We do still have shower and thunderstorm activity in the forecast, and we're tracking maybe even some severe storms as we get into the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Scott?
All right, thanks, Ross. Former Governor Edwin Edwards is giving a public address Monday at NSU. It's at 5 p.m. in the David Morgan Auditorium of Russell Hall. He'll be speaking to a business administration special topics course taught by Ted Jones. Edwards is the state's only 4-term governor. The Kiwanis Club of Alexandria has a crawfish boil fundraiser and raffle event coming up this month.
After we pay our expenses for the crawfish boil, we typically end up with about anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 to put towards our budget each year to take care of some of the programs we have. Our 2 biggest programs are the Family Justice Center of Central Louisiana that we just started this year, and the second being the Terrific Kids program.
The crawfish boil and raffle will take place on April 29th at the Kiwanis Camp in Tioga. For more information, you can call 481-0166. And Bolton High School is currently working on getting their football team new uniforms for the next football season. Head football coach Mark Teague has organized a crawfish fundraiser for them to help that team purchase the new uniforms.
Well, our goal we're trying to meet right now, we're trying to sell 450 tickets. For what we get from the crawfish fundraiser, 450 tickets will help purchase us brand new uniforms for the school. The uniforms we have, they're outdated and torn, and we need some new uniforms.
The crawfish fundraiser tickets are $20 and will include 5 pounds of crawfish, corn, and potatoes. It's on April 29th from 11 to 2. You can call the school to purchase a ticket to help out the football team in meeting their goal. After the break, Georgia Democrats are hoping to gain a congressional seat through a 30-year-old candidate quickly growing in popularity. Plus, Fox News cuts ties with Bill O'Reilly. Details on the latest allegation next on ABC 31 News.
KLAX is the exclusive provider of ABC and MeTV programming here in Central Louisiana. We're the only station where you can watch new ABC programs like Dancing with the Stars, Designated Survivor, and Grey's Anatomy, just to name a few.
That's what family does. We take care of each other.
I'm proud of you.
The warmth of your love.
And if classic TV programs like Bonanza, Andy Griffin, Batman, or Carol Burnett is more your style, then MeTV's the station for you. As an advertiser, you'll want your products and services presented to these loyal viewers. Our sales team is equipped to prove we can generate new customers and new revenue for your business.
I'll tell you what, it pays to advertise.
And we have a number of low-risk advertising programs designed to prove we work. Call our media consultant team today for a no-risk assessment on how we can help you grow your business. We're ready to prove we work.
A Democrat won the first round in a Georgia congressional race, while President Trump is still claiming victory for the Republicans. Democratic candidate and political novice Jon Ossoff had an impressive showing in the red state, but didn't do enough to avoid a runoff with the top Republican, Karen Handel. Kenneth Moten has the latest from Washington.
Today, the seat for Georgia's 6th congressional district is heading for a June runoff.
We will be ready to fight on and win in June.
30-year-old Democrat Jon Ossoff rising to the top, but coming up short in a crowded field of mostly Republicans. A special election in Atlanta's northern suburbs, seen as an anti-Trump movement by Democrats who want to take back the House in 2018. Ossoff on MSNBC this morning.
Washington's interested in what things mean for Washington. But if you come down here to Georgia, you'll feel the intensity on the ground here is about local issues.
Georgia on a lot of minds, including President Trump, who attacked Ossoff on Twitter before the election. Ossoff's Republican contender Karen Handel told CNN the president called her this morning.
He just called to say congratulations and encourage me and let me know that as we go into June 20th that, it's all hands on deck.
Trump taking credit, tweeted, big R win with runoff in Georgia. Glad to be of help.
The Democrats went all in on this race. They spent over $8.3 million. They said on the record that their goal was to win this race. They lost.
But it wasn't a big Republican win in a district held by the GOP for nearly 40 years. Ossoff received 48% to Handel's 20%.
The fact that this was a squeaker, narrowly beating that 50% margin, is not a good sign for Donald Trump. In this suburban Republican district, the Trump brand isn't selling.
But Ossoff, a former congressional aide, could still have a tough battle against Handel, Georgia's former Secretary of State. In the weeks ahead, expect more big dollars to pour into this race and more tweets from the president. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Former New England Patriot Aaron Hernandez has apparently committed suicide in prison. Prison officials in Massachusetts say he used a bed sheet to hang himself. He was found in his cell early this morning. The 27-year-old was serving a life sentence for first-degree murder in the killing of semi-pro football player Odin Lloyd. His death comes just days after he was acquitted in a separate murder case. Police in Fresno, California say a man shot and killed 3 white men within moments of each other because he hated white people. Chief Jerry Dyer says the suspect, 39-year-old Corey Ali Muhammad, also yelled "God is great" in Arabic as he was arrested. The chief calls the killings a hate crime and not an act of terrorism. Police were already searching for Muhammad in connection with the shooting death of a motel security guard last week. McDonald's workers in Erie, Pennsylvania are being hailed as heroes after tipping off police that the Facebook killer was in their parking lot. Stephen Stevens was wanted for killing an elderly man in Cleveland and posting it to Facebook. 2 days later, he was spotted trying to order food at the McDonald's.
The drive-thru employee that was working at the time recognized him or thought, noticed that the car was Ohio tags on it and it was a white Fusion, and took his money and he pulled to the next window. Meanwhile, she stepped out of there and called the state police right away. And I pulled my front drive-thru girl out of the window and had myself and my supervisor present at the window and basically just told him it was going to be a minute for his fries, which it wasn't really. We were just trying to make sure she got in contact with the state police.
Stevens decided not to wait for those fries, but police arrived not long after he took off. Stevens led police on a short chase. He then shot himself in the head. Bill O'Reilly will not be returning to Fox News. The announcement came today as we learned another woman has come forward to accuse the former Fox star of harassment. ABC's Danya Backus has the latest.
Fox News' biggest star is out.
Often around this time of year, I grab some vacation.
Bill O'Reilly, who has been off the air for a week on a scheduled vacation, is not coming back. A statement from 21st Century Fox says, after a thorough and careful review of the allegations, the company and Bill O'Reilly have agreed that Bill O'Reilly will not be returning to the Fox News channel. The decision comes just weeks after a New York Times article reported O'Reilly and Fox paid nearly $13 million in settlements over claims of inappropriate behavior and sexual harassment dating back to 2002.
He got very hostile very quickly.
A former O'Reilly guest came forward claiming the host derailed her career after she turned down his advances. And just this week, attorney Lisa Bloom saying a former Fox employee called the company's anonymous tip line, accusing O'Reilly of sexual and racial misconduct in 2008, saying he allegedly leered, grunted, and called the African-American woman hot chocolate while they were alone.
First, Mr. O'Reilly said nobody ever calls into our hotline. So we took him up on it and we called into the hotline.
The pressure was mounting for the Murdochs to take action. There was an advertiser revolt with more than 70 companies pulling out of the O'Reilly show. And Tuesday, Bill O'Reilly's got to go! Dozens of women protesting outside of Fox headquarters, calling for O'Reilly to be fired. O'Reilly has denied the allegation, saying he's being targeted because he is prominent and controversial. Of the new accusation, his attorney says there is an orchestrated campaign by activists and lawyers to destroy Mr. O'Reilly. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Ross back with us now. It sounds like we've got kind of more of the same coming up.
Humid, hot weather out there, but we get some shower activity for each afternoon and thunderstorm activity as well. And then eventually, as we get into Saturday, we'll see a cold front that maybe bringing some severe weather. Right now, temperatures out there 82 degrees, sunny, so not bad. Enjoy it. Weather is next.
Inside LSU Baseball. Brought to you by Randy Wiggins, State Farm Agent, and Take 5 Oil Change. Join us Sundays at 10 on KLAX TV.
I'm meteorologist Ross Whitley, looking at your weather headlines as we go throughout the rest of this week into the weekend. I tease some severe weather. I'll talk about that in a second. Warm and humid all the way to Friday. More of the same, kind of what we've been seeing the last couple of days. Showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon pretty much every day until we get to Saturday and we get things to clear on out of here with that strong cold front, and that should lead to some nice weather for Sunday. It is not this cold front that will eventually be working through, but you can start to see another system working into the picture, and it'll be that system's cold front that finally comes into our area and sweeps out this very warm, humid air mass that we've been dealing with. And along with it, we're going to keep the shower and thunderstorm activity as well. Now, looking at the severe setup as we go throughout Saturday, because that is going to be our best timeline to see some severe storms. It's probably going to be early in the morning Saturday to about mid-morning Saturday, and then it'll be moving on out of here rather quickly. You see timeline putting it to the east of Nashville by the time we get to Saturday afternoon. So maybe the rest of Saturday not looking like a bad day as we get into the late afternoon. Right now, our radar showing a few showers and storms out there, mainly off to our west. Could be working in for the overnight hours. We should start to clear things out as we get into the latter part of this evening, into the overnight hours, as those storms start to lose the fuel that is feeding them, and the reason that they're kind of out there, they're kind of just wandering around. You notice not a whole lot of direction with those storms, kind of slowly moving off to the north. As we go through our Thursday, like I said, more of the same as far as the weather goes. Temperatures getting to about the mid-80s, maybe 83 degrees was officially our high today. Could be officially our high tomorrow as well. Going through 5 p.m., 80 degrees, and a spotty shower or thunderstorm out there as well. Right now, temperature at 82 degrees. And looking forward elsewhere, we see Lafayette at 77, Baton Rouge at 80, and Lake Charles at 73, and Leesville at 81. Tomorrow's forecast, passing shower, 83 degrees, you guessed it. About a 50% chance that we see something out of tomorrow's activity. Our extended forecast, more of the same for Thursday and Friday. That is the key phrase for this forecast. And then Saturday, we watch a strong thunderstorm through about midday on Saturday. The rest of the week, not looking bad. We get to Sunday, and you'll get a reward for Sunday. We'll see Monday at 78. Then we start to warm things back up, and we also bring the chance of rain back in as we get into mid-next week. Let's look at your weather. Scott?
All right, thanks, Ross. Facebook has a new act, and it involves virtual reality. And Apple just made a bunch of apps free for everyone. Jane King is at the NASDAQ market site with those stories and more in today's Tech Reports.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg says the social media giant will delve deeper into augmented reality, which mixes digital and physical space. The one way they do plan to do this is to allow third parties to create custom masks, filters, and other effects. Early partners include Nike, Electronic Arts, and Warner Brothers. Wells Fargo testing a Facebook chatbot. Reuters says it's like a pilot program. Right now, it would allow customers to get information on their accounts and also help them reset passwords. And Apple just made iMovie, the entire iWork suite, and GarageBand free for everyone. Those applications have already been free for people who purchased a new iOS or Mac device, but not to those with other devices. And Subway launching a chatbot as well for Facebook Messenger at more than 26,000 domestic restaurants. This will allow its tech-savvy customers to place an order with ease. Digital food orders have increased 45% since 2014, according to the NPD Group. And PetSmart buying Chewy.com for $3.3 billion. This is one of the biggest e-commerce deals ever. Chewy is one of the fastest growing internet sites on the planet. They say they've done that on good customer service and products. From the NASDAQ market site in Times Square, I'm Jane King with your Tech Report.
Researchers in Scotland discovered cells in the retina that may communicate with a region of the brain regulating daily rhythms. Doctors say it may open the door to new therapies for people with jet lag or working the night shift. Researchers at the University of California, San Francisco found young adults report more pleasure when smoking cigarettes while drinking alcohol than they do when smoking cigarettes while also using marijuana. Scientists said the findings may help people cope with triggers to smoke. Millions of Americans take medicines to lower the risk of heart attack and stroke, but how many more should be taking them? A new study shows depends on who you ask. With more, here's Dr. Timothy Johnson.
Statins, the medicines commonly prescribed by doctors to lower blood cholesterol, cutting the risk of heart attacks and strokes. 25 million Americans currently take these drugs, but millions more may benefit from them. Nearly 16% of Americans aged 40 to 75 who are not already on the medicine should be taking it, according to criteria from the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force. That translates to more than 17 million people nationwide. But according to guidelines from the American Heart Association, nearly a quarter of middle-aged Americans, that's more than 26 million people, should be taking a statin. Either way, the bottom line is that many Americans who should be taking statins are not. So to find out if you're one such American, talk to your doctor, because the risk of a heart attack isn't one you should be willing to take. With this Medical Minute, I'm Dr. Timothy Johnson.
Coming up in sports, one NSU sprinter won an award for the second time this season. And you're not going to want to miss this triple play next.
Stay connected with KLAX ABC 31. Visit us online anytime. Get today's top stories and trending topics. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. See our pics on Instagram. Watch us on YouTube. And make KLAXTV.com your home for local news and information. Plus, download the KLAX weather app for your smartphone or tablet. Get live current conditions, radar maps, alerts, and more. More ways to stay connected with KLAX TV.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Charlie LaPastora. Records have been broken so far this track season, and NSU sprinter Deshaylin Jones plays a huge part in that. She was recognized with her second Athlete of the Week award today. Her record-setting performance at the East Texas Invitational helped her earn this award as she set a program best time of 53.61 in the 400 meters. It's the second time she set a school record, the other being in the 200 at Baylor. Jones is now one of 3 D1 athletes to lead a conference in 3 separate events. She leads in the 100, 200, and 400. Well, NSU has 2 new volleyball players today after Coach Kirikoff announced the additions of right side Daria Williams and libero and defensive specialist Emily Ornelas from Texas. Williams was a 4-time All-State selection in volleyball and basketball and was the first sophomore at her high school to win Female Athlete of the Year. Ornelas, she averaged 4.7 digs per set in her senior season. She was part of the Under Armour All-American watch list. NSU tennis is 13-7 overall. They finished their season up on Friday, hosting Central Arkansas. NSU staff sat down with one of the freshmen helping contribute in huge ways to this team this season.
I mean, we basically just eat a lot. On Fridays, we go to Smoothie King or Donuts. And before the game, we just have a really big breakfast. And it's just, yeah, we just eat a lot.
Check this out on another baseball diamond, this time in Kentucky. 2-1 for number 2 Louisville, top 2. Colin Lehman with that fly ball to left Kentucky. Rex McKay for the double play. Then catcher Troy Squires squared up and threw out another out. 7-2-6 triple play. You don't see that often, folks. Kentucky won this one Tuesday night, 11-7.
You know, I know Pop's got pedigree and I'm a young rookie, but they're not going to rook us. That's unacceptable. That was unprofessional. My guys dug in that game and earned the right to be in that game, and they did not even give us a chance.
All right, thank you.
Take that for data.
Well, that was Memphis Grizzlies head coach David Fizdale, and he was fined $30,000 today by the NBA for his post-game comments on officiating Monday night. You just heard the end of his rant. Fizdale was upset with the officiating of that Monday's first-round playoff game and said his team was called for more fouls and the Spurs were given more free throws. Memphis is now down 2-0 in this series. The Patriots visited the White House today to celebrate their historic come-from-behind Super Bowl win. President Trump welcomed the Pats and congratulated them on that amazing comeback. President Trump called them an incredible organization and complimented Coach Belichick and owner Robert Kraft on building it.
This Super Bowl victory was a complete team effort. That's the beauty of what they do. They win as a team.
Tom Brady wasn't able to make the trip because of family matters, but Gronk was there, as you can see to the left of your screen, and he made his presence known, crashing the White House briefing and asking Press Secretary Sean Spicer if he needed any help. Spicer laughed and answered, "I think I got this, but thank you." Later saying, quote, "That was cool." Truly cool indeed to have Super Bowl player.
Little guest pop in.
Yeah.
Lighten things up for a minute or two.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Sean Spicer was pretty excited to see that.
Yeah, we'll have to see what SNL does for him.
I think it's coming.
Yeah.
Thanks, Charlie.
No problem, Scott.
Well, next, his little girl had an accident at school, and what this dad did has people all over praising him. The story, next on ABC 31 News.
ABC 31 KLAX, the exclusive provider of ABC programming in Central Louisiana. We are the only station where you can watch new, first-run ABC programs like Dancing with the Stars, Designated Survivor,
strike the enemy,
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's can deliver.
Damn right. Hi, I'm Michael Bailey. Call me at the number on the screen. See how easy and affordable television advertising can be.
A Utah dad is receiving online praise for his Billy Madison-like reaction to hearing about his daughter's bathroom accident at school. On Friday, Ben Sowards showed up to collect his 6-year-old crying daughter with his own pants wet. You see, he says he was heartbroken after hearing about his daughter Valerie's embarrassment and splashed some water on his own pants before leaving the house. He arrived at the school's front office and asked Valerie if he could borrow her backpack to cover up his own accident. By the way, Sowards is a dad to 11. Yeah, he and his wife are planning to adopt 4 foster children who are in their care. Pretty fantastic.
It's pretty
dad
awesome.
right there.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, have a great night. Thanks for watching ABC 31 News.
When a case seems unsolvable, they see the incredible. Murder, motive, secrets. Bones Weekends.
Watch Bones weekends on KLAX ABC 31.
When it comes to cleaning up the streets of Boston,
this is who I am. This is what I do. Now get me in there. He did it, and I know where the proof is.
It's ladies first. Rizzoli and Isles.
Weekends at 11 on KLAX TV.